From only helping people out for views and money to exploiting actual people who are the most in need. This is the real reason people hate Mr. Beast. He kinda exploits people for money. I mean, just take his Squid Game challenge as an example. After the sudden fame of the Squid Game series, every content creator was jumping on the hype train. So, of course, Mr. Beast couldn't just be left behind. But as usual, he decided to go big. And by big, I mean recreating the whole show in real life. He invited around 456 people to compete in a series of deadly games for a chance to win $456,000. The games were the same as those in the show, including Red Light Green Light, Dalgona Candy, and Tug of War. The man went all in. The video took around 2 months in the making, and believe it or not, he even hired professional stuntmen to make the live show more real. As you'd expect, it was all a bit too much, especially considering it was at the expense of people who could really be in need of money. And so he got a ton of hate and criticism for it. Some people said that it's insensitive to the real-life tragedy of the Squid Game show. The Squid Game show is a dark and gritty thriller. It tells the story of people who are forced to play the deadly games for money. But that's not all. Fans also felt that Mr. Beast's challenge is disrespectful to the victims of the Squid Game show. And honestly, it trivializes the real-life problems that they face. Others believed the Mr. Beast was putting people at real-life risk. And all of that was just for the sake of money. Whatever side of the argument you're on, it's kinda hard to deny the video was a bit exploitative. People called out the content creator for only being interested in making money, even if it comes at the safety of his fans. But that's only just the beginning of the reasons why people hate him, because people also dislike him because of all the trash he leaves after his videos. A Redditor said that Mr. Beast was the man who loves to destroy things for the sake of his YouTube channel. And honestly, that's not too wrong of a statement. Sure, he might have gained a massive following with his over-the-top stunts, but at what cost? The destruction of entire cars and the wasteful giveaway of hundreds of thousands of items have caused some serious environmental concerns. I'm talking about massive amounts of resources being wasted and the pollution of our precious planet. Let's not forget that the car he destroyed was made of metal and plastic, materials that don't just magically disappear when you smash them up. And the same goes for all the items he gives away. A lot of them were made of plastic. Isn't it the very same material that's causing a major pollution crisis in our oceans? Mr. Beast might claim that his stunts are just for entertainment purposes, but that is a pretty weak excuse. And honestly, some people are just not having it. I'm not talking about harmless pranks here. It has the potential to have major real-world consequences. And while he might argue that his stunts don't have a significant impact on the environment, every little bit counts when it comes to protecting our planet. And so yes, Mr. Beast might be popular, but that doesn't mean he's above criticism. Many people believe that his stunts are irresponsible and send the wrong message to his viewers. After all, is it really worth destroying resources and polluting the environment just for a few minutes of entertainment? In fact, even some of his seemingly harmless videos have led to some serious backlash, like the fact that Mr. Beast was called out after paying 1,000 people to get cataract surgery. What was the reason behind such harsh criticism, you may think? Well, it all happened after he uploaded an 8-minute video on his YouTube channel. It was called 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time and has been viewed more than 135 million times so far. Mr. Beast himself provided all the cash needed for the surgeries, and he wasn't even done there. He gave more than one person $10,000, donated $50,000 to a high school student for his college fund, and bought a man a Tesla. And there's more. He also gave $100,000 to Dr. Jeff Levinson, who performed the cataract surgeries, so he can perform more cataract operations. But this sparked a debate about the ethics of philanthropy and his motivation for doing all these good deeds.
He's always reinvested it, and so it's like literally just all. I mean, I was like as awkward as they came, no money, no nothing, and I just basically just obsessed over YouTube.
Some people called Mr. Beast demonic and accused him of exploiting people for content. They believe he only does good deeds for the sake of making money, which is a bit of a recurring trend with almost all of his content. It always comes at the expense of people who are the most vulnerable. It's this desperation that fuels his videos, and people are getting sick of it. A follower on Twitter posted that while they were glad that 1,000 people could now see, that doesn't make him a good person for making that happen. Still, isn't that too much hate for something good? Especially when there are actual and legitimate concerns about his channel, like the lack of diversity in his videos. You might enjoy his content, but you've got to admit that diversity isn't really the guy's strong suit. Like, it's tough to find people of color and women in his content most of the time. It's like he's living in a bubble. I know he's just trying to make entertaining videos, but it's important to remember that his audience is made up of all kinds of people, and especially in America, diversity and representation is super important. So if he wants to keep his viewers happy, he's gotta start showing them some love. And I mean all of them, not just a select few. I'm not saying he should make every video about diversity, but maybe he could try to include more people of color and women in his challenges and stunts. It would be a great way to show his audience that he cares about them and that he's trying to be more inclusive. Who knows? He might even learn a thing or two from people who are different from him, and that is always a good thing. But even with all these reasons why people hate him, it's gotta be said that he's often portrayed a lot worse than he really is. I mean, sure, I can see why some people might be upset. After all, Mr. Beast is a wealthy guy. He can easily donate the money to charity without making a video about it. But I think it's important to remember that Mr. Beast is a businessman. He knows that making videos about his good deeds will attract more viewers, which leads to him earning even more money. He did not come from generational wealth, so calling him out for being rich doesn't even apply in this case. He earns a living by creating content that people want to watch.
Essentially, up until 18, I had been doing YouTube pretty religiously, but I was making no money. But I just I have, hyper obsession and I love this.
So while it may seem like he's exploiting people for content, it's also true that he's providing a service that viewers want. And it's not like he hasn't done any good with his money. He's donated millions of dollars to charity and has helped countless people in need. I'm sure that's a lot more than most of his haters have done. He's also used his platform to raise awareness about important issues, such as poverty and homelessness. So while some people may criticize him for exploiting people for content, it's also true that he's using his money to make the world a better place. Plus, give the guy a break. It's important to remember he's just a human being who can make mistakes just like everyone else. So, is Mr. Beast a good person? I don't know. I think he's a complex individual who's motivated by both good and bad intentions. But I do think it's important to give him credit for doing something good, even if his motives aren't entirely altruistic. But that's the real reason why people hate Mr. Beast. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.